Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to attempt to trigger a tracker. You're going to have someone start moving towards your character or away from your character once he hits some sensor. So in order to do that, we're going to have the trigger, which will be this cube here. I'll resize him a little. Then we're going to add the good guy, which will be your character, this funny sphere shaped. Then we're going to add the bad guy, which will make a cone. We don't like cones very much. Alright, so we're going to need to change this to game logic and Blender game. Zoom in a little bit. And so your character just needs basic motion. So for this sake, all he's going to be able to do is move forward. He won't be able to move backwards or anything else. Your character probably will, but he just needs to be able to hit this. So move forward by the X when you hit the W key. There are tutorials and stuff like this, so if you need to find that out, go look in the tutorial folder, and there it works. So now, this guy, we're going to add a property to him. We're going to name this attack good guy, and then a boolean, which is just a true or false. Now, we want to make it so that when that becomes true, it's currently set to the false one, he'll start moving towards him. So we're going to grab the property sensor, find my attack good guy, and type in true, all lowercase. It'll start acting funny if you try uppercasing or misspell it. Try to avoid that. We do the basic and then we're going to have, the first thing we're going to have is an edit object and track to. So he'll track to my ioconsphere. How do you pronounce that? And then we're going to add a second one, which will be your motion. So now I'm going to do the Y. If you move the X, he'll move up and down funny, and if you move the Z, he'll move up and down funny. If you move the X, he'll end up rotating around the object. So it really depends on what you want to do there. So there's that. Alright. So we need to make it so that this can get true, which is where this comes in. So over here in your physics is you can have these dynamic, but you'll want this one to be a sensor. So that means he'll act similar to other objects, except for, as you see when I hit play, gravity still doesn't affect him. He's just trying to look for something. He's not sure what he's looking for yet, but that's his entire job. Alright, so now we'll add when he touches the good guy, which means the good guy needs a material in order to touch him. So we're going to name him good guy. So when he hits good guy, he will send a message to the cone, our bad guy, telling him to go. So this, you won't see anything if I test it. Now, in this case, we want to get the person out of the way. So we need to get rid of him. So we're going to end the object once he hits him. So if we hit play, I move forward, I hit him, and he vanishes. Now, he gets the message, but he doesn't know what he's looking for yet. So we want to add a message sensor. Message. And so he'll be looking for a message with the subject go. Now if you look over here, you have the to, and we're sending it to the cone. We have the subject and we have the text. The body, you can have text or a property here. So if I wanted to have some integer over here that I'm trying to send to him, we're just going to name it E, I could send him E. And so I just send him the value of what that is right now. We really don't care about that right now at all, and it won't affect it in the slightest, regardless of what you put in the body. So, we have him set up. Now I want to add an and now, in order to change anything, that's where actuators come in. We want the property actuator right there. And so we'll take good guy and change it to true. Now I could type in anything here, but it won't do anything. So if I have that, I hit play. Still doesn't do anything because you have to have, if I have an integer here, I'm going to need that to be an integer. If I have a string, I need that to be a string. So that has to fit with whatever your property type is. So in this case, a true or false for Boolean. Now let's connect this. So we hit play, we move forward, we hit him, and now he moves towards my character until he gets to the center, and he'll follow him. You can edit the motion for how you want him to move. So if we eliminate the Y, bump the X up a little bit. Now he's circling my character. And so continually try to follow him by circling. So you can play with that a little bit, but that's the basics of doing a tracking object.